road. We see it every day on our way to work, on our way to school. We see the end result. But do we ever stop and wonder, how is it made? Where does it come from? What goes into making pavement? Let us take a journey. Let us find out. So, Mr. Wallace, what exactly are you responsible for at this facility?
Main responsibilities are mixed designs to meet VDOT approval for the work we do on the highways, and ensuring that production mix meets VDOT specifications.
And VDOT stands for what?
Virginia Department of Transportation.
Oh, okay. So you guys work really closely with them.
Yeah, they're our number one customer.
Number one.
Yes.
That's a good customer to have.
Yeah. And then for the production mix, we pull a sample. We do acceptance testing every 500 tons of production mix.
Every 500 tons?
Yes.
Wow. And how often do you do that, meet that 500 ton milestone? How often do you have to do that test?
Well, we've got plants that can produce right at that. So we've got plants that have produced 400 tons an hour.
An hour?
Yes.
400 tons an hour. 400 tons an hour.
Typically, we run them at 200 tons per hour.
That's a lot of, that's metric tons here? Or?
That's English tons.
English tons, okay, gotcha. Well, our third question is, we're doing this for a geology class. So, an obvious question would be, how is geology involved in your line of work?
Well, 100% of our aggregates come from the earth.
Right.
So, even we use river sand.
River sand.
And a lot of which, there again, the material comes from the earth. It's
right.
just, it's processed by nature.
Sedimentary rocks, the
yeah.
river sand. That's cool.
But the majority of the stone we use is quarried and processed.
So now, what do you mean by quarried?
Well, it's mined.
Mined, okay.
Yes. I don't know a whole lot about the procedures, just going to the quarries.
Right.
Quite often you see that, you see they blast the stone.
With like explosives?
Yes.
That's cool.
And then they gather it up, they run it through crushers, basically a giant hammer, breaks the material down, and then it's screened to the proper sizes.
That's something I could get into.
Yeah.
Blow it up, mash it, then take it.
Yeah.
Build with it. I like that.
Sounds fun.
We know that geology is involved in your line of work, but can you elaborate a little bit on whether chemistry is involved as well?
The only chemistry would be the bonding of the liquid asphalt to
right.
the aggregate.
Okay.
And there are tests that we do to ensure a proper bond.
Okay.
That would pretty much be the only chemistry.
That's cool. I think that's really cool that you incorporate multiple fields of science into your line of work.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Now, I noticed, we noticed when we came in that you guys have a lot of heavy duty machinery around here. And as a guy, that's right up my alley. I like that stuff. But one question that, as geology students that we have to ask is, with all the heavy duty machinery and with all the quarrying that is required for this line of work, does your company do anything to help protect the environment or to prevent from pollution, to prevent pollution?
Yeah, all of our plants are inspected by the DEQ, Department of Environmental Quality.
Oh, okay.
So so we're in line with their specifications.
That's big. That's
and
good.
Some of our plants we use natural gas for the drying of the aggregate and the heating of the aggregate. Some we burn regular diesel fuel, I think. And I'm not sure on this, but I think that one of our asphalt plants, a day's production would equal what a 18-wheeler would, the exhaust of an 18-wheeler.
So an entire plant in a day uses about the same.
We'll put out about as much pollution as an 18-wheeler.
That is impressive. That's not something I would have expected,
Yeah.
especially since you mentioned the 200 to 400 tons per hour
Yeah.
number earlier. So
Yeah.
that's pretty impressive, actually. Now, another question that goes along with that environmental friendly realm. Do you reuse any old asphalt that you
Yes.
have previously?
Yes, we do. Well, our product is 100% recyclable.
Oh, really?
Yes. So,
Okay.
typical mix has a 15-year life,
Mhm.
maybe 20 years. It's milled up. We bring it back here, reprocess it, and get it ready to run into a new mix. Our product contains, on average, I would say 25% recycled material.
Really? Well, that's really good too. That you don't just throw away the material, the old stuff. So that's good.
Typically, anytime you see a rock quarry, you're going to see an asphalt plant close by.
Right. And if you're anywhere on this side of the state, it looks like you're going to see an Adams construction sign next to it too.
Yes.
Well, Mr. Wallace, is there anything else that you'd like to elaborate on?
I can't think of anything. I'll pretty much kind of show you our operation here.
All right. So I'm going to go out to the field, huh?
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, thank you, Mr. Wallace.
You're welcome.
All
Mr.
right.
Wallace.
Thank you. All right. Okay. These right here are what?
This is actually number 78 stones, coarse aggregate. These are number 10 screenings.
Okay.
These two materials come from the same quarry. This is actually quartzite.
Quartzite. Yeah, we've studied about that one in class.
Yeah. And this is with sand. This is actually a manufactured sand.
Manufactured.
It's quarried.
Okay.
And this is our recycled material. Most of our mixes have 25% recycled.
Gotcha. Now, you said with the sifter earlier, do you run which ones do you run through the sifter?
All of these.
All of them.
All of them.
Trying to look out for
Yeah.
impurities and all that
We
stuff.
get the percent passing each size sieve, and then we use that to blend each of these four together to meet. VDOT has criteria.
Right.
The mix, the total blend has to meet on these sieves.
And you said, just so I can show the people in class with the video, you said each one of these is goes bigger to smaller. Can we show them again?
Yeah, from large to small. Whoops. Good catch.
Thank you. So there's the big one
And
at the
then
top, and
we
get
get
a little smaller.
A little smaller. Little smaller.
Real fine.
Yeah. And then you're down to dust there at the
You
bottom.
can barely see the marks on there. That's cool. So you run all your materials through there.
Yes.
Nice.
And it's in liquid form here.
That's 300 degrees.
300 degrees.
You just reached in and grabbed it.
Yeah. And nice. And that, at this temperature, this acts like a lubricant.
A lubricant?
When we're laying the mix,
Okay.
it helps the aggregates to go together.
So is this what we smell
That's what you smell.
when we drive by the build sites?
Yeah, the liquid
Okay.
asphalt.
Yeah.
This also comes from there.
Okay.
This is the same stuff at room temperature. It's solid.
It's solid.
Yeah.
You guys can see the reflection of the camera in there.
So at 300 degrees, it's a lubricant for the aggregates to go together.
Right.
Once it cools,
It
it's
just
the glue that holds
it together. So it's a multi-purpose chemical. So and it comes from nature. You said.
Yes.
Cool. I like that.
It's the byproduct of when they process the oil
Okay.
for fuel.
Oh, okay.
What's left over is liquid asphalt.
Oh, okay. So you put it to good use too.
Yeah.
All right.
Now that mix he's running now, they're laying out on Brandon Avenue.
Brandon Avenue.
Yeah.
I was just driving there yesterday.
Yeah. I don't know. You may want to swing by out there.
Yeah. I think, yeah, I go, that's near my house anyway, so.
Now that particular mix, I don't know if you noticed those bales of fiber. It's an interstate mix, so it has a lot of liquid in it. They put the extra liquid in it, and it's a stiffer grade of liquid than what we typically use.
You're right.
So they put that in there for a longer life. They're looking at 20 to 30 years life out of this mix.
Because it got a lot more fiber, you said?
Yeah. Well, it has the reason the fiber's put in is because if you put it in without, put all that liquid in there, I mean, it's close to 7% liquid in it.
Oh, wow.
If you put that in there without the fiber, the liquid would just run right out of it.
Yeah.
But by putting the fiber in there, the fiber holds it in there.
Right.
And so the liquid is the strength of that mix. And the more liquid you get in there, the more life.
Okay.
So
the longer it'll last.
yeah, so that's an interstate mix they putting on Brandon Avenue.
Wow.
Yeah, the city of Roanoke, they're doing more of it, longer lasting mixing in mixes in high traffic areas.
Right.
Just to keep from going out there in 15 years and replacing it.
Right.
You're looking at 30 years before they have to replace it. So,
Makes sense.
yeah.
I gotta find a way to get down. And I dropped my keys. This should be fun.